Right guys, welcome back to another episode of Map TV. Today we've got this Golf TCR in with us for our stage 3 package. We're going to be installing a TT 535 hybrid turbo, Airtec front mount intercooler, Milltek Downpipe, Autotech high pressure fuel pump, big brake kit, lowering springs. It's having it all. So we've got the car on the dyno now. We're going to do some stock power runs, collect some data logs, make sure the car's working as it should in stock form, and then once we're happy with the car, it's back out into the workshop and we can start installing the parts. So let's get it. Right, so we've done the stock power runs on this car. The car's actually got a tuning box on, which we didn't actually realise. So we've done a run. It's done 299 wheel horsepower and 296 foot-pound of torque at the wheels. But looking through the logs, it's got a lot of throttle closure. It's pulling 6 degrees of ignition timing, and the boost control is terrible, which we would expect to see from a tuning box. So with these engines, knock sensitivity is a big thing. So when you start increasing the power, you need to desensitize the knock sensors slightly. With the tuning boxes, they don't. So the tuning box plugs into all the different sensors on the engine, but the knock sensor isn't one of them. So they can manipulate the sensor readings all they want, but if they don't adjust the knock frequencies, it's just going to pull all the ignition timing back out. So it's pulling loads of ignition timing, a lot of throttle closure. So yeah, just not good at all. But we know that tuning boxes, they don't work well. So I'm happy to continue with this car, and we'll just have to keep an eye on it, make sure that the actual knock retard isn't something that's causing an issue. So other than that, I think we're happy to get the car off the dyno, and then we can start the build process. So yeah, let's crack on. Right guys, all the parts are installed on the Golf now. I've taken the car out on a quick test drive to make sure everything's working properly, as we've installed a big brake kit and some other suspension parts. We're going to get the car back on the dyno and start our stage 3 tuning process, so let's go. Done the first run on the stage 3 base map now. We've previously done one of these stage 3 TCRs, and basically the exact same setup. So even the same software version on the ECU. So we know that the base map that we have for this car is going to be somewhere near. So just as a bit of a safety precaution, I've ran the car with a little bit less timing and a little bit less boost request, just to make sure everything is working as it should, in terms of like the wastegate actuator and stuff. So we ran it at 1.8 bar and pretty rich lambda with a little bit less timing than we'd usually run. The car's made 370 wheel horsepower straight off the base map, which is nice. The logs look perfect, boost control's fine. So now we're going to revert back to our last stage 3 file, basically the fully optimised version, run it on that, and if there's any more to be had from there, we can optimise it further. So we've made a couple of revisions now. The car's set at 410 wheel horsepower and 375 foot-pound of torque at the wheels. We're running it at 1.95 bar, so it's just sat just underneath that 2 bar limit. We've leaned it out a little bit and actually optimised the timing a bit. So we've gained, over the tuning box, it's actually gained 110 wheel horsepower in places. So like the boost control's perfect, it's pulling 1 to 2 degrees maximum throughout the whole rev range, which is within our tolerances. So yeah, the car's dialed in now. The torque curve looks crazy. So yeah, we can start thinking about getting it off the dyno, and then we can test it on the road, get some data logs on the road, make sure everything's working on the road as it should, and then yeah, we'll just see how it is. Based on that torque curve, this car's going to be fast. Very fast. Right, so we're out in the TCR now. Prior to this, we've been out data logging the car, logging the clamping pressure on gearbox and logging the actual ECU to make sure the engine's doing what we want it to do. We've had to tweak the boost control a little bit out on the road. Not every car's perfect when it leaves the dyno. It can be working perfectly on the dyno and then get out onto the road and act slightly different. So we've had to reduce the boost a little bit at top end because it was overshooting its target slightly. But now that's all dialed back in. One thing that stands out for me is the dog bone insert in this car. So when we initially drove the car and it got dropped off, it had a stock dog bone, no insert. It had a tuning box on it, so like 300 wheel horsepower, but it wheel hopped like mad. And one thing about these like MQB platform cars is wheel hop is a nightmare. I know a lad who's got a Club Sport GTI, and his car wheel hops that bad it cracks his windscreen. So like, for us to put this dog bone insert in and it stopped the wheel hop altogether, like that it's completely transformed the car, and it's got an extra 100 wheel horsepower and it still doesn't wheel hop. And the alignment, when we initially drove the car, the steering wheel wasn't centered, so we've done an alignment on it. All these little things that just make the driving experience better. So we've upped the power, sorted the alignment, sorted the wheel up, fitted a big brake kit, so the brakes are mega now, some lowering springs. The car feels insane in comparison to how it came in, and it sounds mega as well. A few crackles in sport mode. So yeah, happy with the car all in all. We're just going to go up to the bypass now, get some clips of the exhaust tone and stuff for you guys, and then we'll head back to the workshop.